Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
Well, hello and welcome to News Hour on Voice of the People TV. I am Vivian Oguche.
And I am Nena Ndomdioto. Before we begin, kindly visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. First, the headlines. Rivers APC rejects impeachment precedent against Fubara.
Also, ADC faction denies Wayne Jonathan, Atiku, Obi, Ponkoso.
Kwara State tops National Livestock Project ranking.
Tinubu condoles with Chimamanda Adichie over son's death.
Afenifere urged Southwest governors to act on rising terror attacks.
Buratai sues Ali Kefi for 1 billion naira over alleged terrorism defamation.
On the foreign scene, Trump withdraws U.S. from key climate treaty and dozens of other groups.
While in business news, Tinubu applauds NGX 100 trillion naira milestone and charges Nigerians to invest more locally.
In sport, NSC chairman says Eagles bonus are reserved and blames delayed payment on bureaucratic bottlenecks.
While in entertainment news, gospel singer Donnie McClurkin denies sexual allegations and seeks prayer for accuser.
Now the news and details. The Rivers State chapter of the All Progressive Congress, APC, has rejected the impeachment process initiated by the Rivers State House of Assembly against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy Ngozi Odo, describing the move as destabilizing and unnecessary. In a statement signed on Thursday by the party spokesperson Darlington Nwauju, the APC said it acknowledged the constitutional independence of the legislature, but would not support what it termed a resort to impeachment against an APC-led government. The party cautioned lawmakers, particularly its members in the assembly, against yielding to external pressure capable of plunging the state into political turmoil. Addressing claims that impeachment threat is linked to budgetary issues, the APC recalled that during the period of emergency rule, a 1.485 trillion naira budget was transmitted to the National Assembly in May 2025 and approved by the Senate on June 25 and the House of Representatives on July 22, 2025. According to the party, the budget is expected to run until August 2026. The APC noted that the governor may lawfully decide not to present a supplementary budget and reminded the Assembly that the Constitution allows a 6-month spending window into a new fiscal year.
Well, a former presidential aspirant, Dele Momodu, has listed former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of Labour Party in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, and a two-term governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, as leading candidates for the presidential ticket of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, for the 2027 election. Momodu, formerly of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, disclosed this during a media chat on Thursday. Momodu also advised members of the ADC to rise above personal sentiments and work towards defeating President Bola Tinubu, whom he accused of turning the country into a one-party state.
Meanwhile, a faction of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, led by its national chairman, Nafiu Gombe, has dismissed reports suggesting that he is wooing former President Goodluck Jonathan, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Governor of Anambra State Peter Obi, and the new Nigeria People's Party leader Rabiu Kwankwaso ahead of the 2027 general election. In a statement, Gombe described the claims as baseless and urged party members and the general public not to be distracted by speculation, stressing that the ADC will be guided strictly by its constitution and internal processes. Gombe made a clarification in a statement issued in Abuja on Thursday, insisting that the group he leads remains the authentic national leadership of the party and is focused on building the ADC as an independent political platform. Gombe's remarks come amid rising tension within opposition politics as the race for the ADC presidential ticket gathers momentum, with several high-profile aspirants expressing interest fueling debates around consensus, zoning, and party unity.
And now, Kwara State has been ranked as the top-performing state in the Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project after an independent assessment by the National Coordination Office and the World Bank. The assessment, based on World Bank standards, evaluated 20 participating states nationwide. The indicators covered institutional coordination, financial management, safeguards and compliance, security management, reporting efficiency, and delivery of project results. The State Ministry of Livestock Development announced that Kwara State emerged top in the final performance assessment as documented in the L-Price Project States Performance Assessment and Ranking Report.
Away from that report, President Bola Tinubu has expressed deep sorrow over the death of Nkanu Nnamdi, son of renowned Nigerian author Chimamanda Adichie and her husband, Dr. Ivara Esege. In a personal statement, Tinubu described the loss as devastating, drawing from his own experience of losing a loved one. He said he empathized with the family during this difficult period and mourned the sad loss alongside them. Tinubu acknowledged Adichie's global literary contributions, describing her as a literary icon who has brought joy and light to many homes globally. The president prayed that the Almighty would grant the family strength during this trying time.
And now this report says 2 people were killed on Wednesday during a rival court clash in Jatu Aka, Kwande local government area of Benue State. The Benue State Police Command spokesperson DSP Udeme Edit, who disclosed this to journalists in Makurdi on Thursday, said the violent clash was between red and black cult groups. Several members of the rival cults were reported to have sustained varying degrees of injuries during the clash.
May their souls rest in peace. In another development, the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Organization, Afenifere, has expressed concern over the increasing terror attacks in Yoruba land and other parts of Nigeria. In a statement, Afenifere's National Publicity Secretary, Jare Ajayi, cited recent incidents, including the killing of 5 Nigeria Park Service officers at Old Oyo National Park and the abduction of a nursing mother and her child in Ondo State. The organization also condemned the attack on women protesting insecurity at the Kwara State Government House, describing it as unacceptable. Afenifere is urging Southwest governors to implement the November 24, 2025 resolution on regional security, including the establishment of a Southwest Joint Security Architecture and State Police.
Well, turning to other stories, former Chief of Army Staff, retired Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, has filed a 1 billion naira defamation suit against another retired senior military officer, retired Major General Ali Kefi, before the Federal High Court sitting in Kaduna State. The suit instituted on Thursday at the Kaduna Judicial Division of the court accuses Ali Kefi of making and circulating false, malicious, and defamatory statements allegedly linking Buratai to terrorism financing, Boko Haram suspects, and the illegal release and concealment of terror suspects. In the suit, Buratai, through his counsel A.I. Aliu and A.M. Hassan of Law Plus Consult, is seeking declarations that the statements credited to the defendant and published across various online news platforms and social media outlets are defamatory and injurious to his reputation. According to court documents, the plaintiff alleges that the defendant granted interviews in 2025 in which he insinuated that Buratai had links to terror suspects and financiers and was involved in conspiracies to cover up terrorism-related activities during his tenure as Chief of Army Staff. Buratai further contends that the publications were widely circulated online and on social media platforms, including Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and WhatsApp, as well as Instagram, thereby giving the allegations both a national and international reach. In his statement of claim, the former Army chief described the allegations as entirely false, stressing that he has never been investigated, indicted, or convicted for terrorism, terrorism financing, or any related offense. The plaintiff is claiming 1 billion naira as general damages for libel and injury to reputation, citing the allegations, the wide circulation of the publications, and the defendant's status as a retired senior military officer, among others.
We'll take a break, and when we return, we'll bring you more stories. Do stay with us.
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Novisha Nelson One, your number 1 celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyi Osarite is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging. picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV, live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Voice of the people. You can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
My name is Suibifa Dokubo. Please keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, my name is Kwekumali Ikenda Onyekwena, and I am with the Voice of the People TV. Now, if you're looking for the veritable channel for information, politics, robust discussions, you don't need to go far. VOP has you. VOP will always have you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Patrick Diabwa, aka Ibani Chuka, Amayanabo the Eagle King, and you are watching VOP TV. Stay with us.
Uyi Osarite is my name. I am a friend of the microphone. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios. Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I be like, well, this TV station will go places. Voice of the People TV.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, joining us virtually to analyze news is an expert in human rights issues and a public affairs commentator, Professor Emmanuel. Professor Emmanuel is a past head, Department of Region and Cultural Studies, Benue State University, Makurdi, Benue State, Nigeria. Professor, let me hazard a guess. Is it Professor Usue? Am I right? Oh, I understand the professor just left. We are hoping to get him back shortly. So we will take a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue with the rest of the bulletin. Stay with us. Welcome back. I understand the professor is back. Professor, it's so good to have you join us today. Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
All right, so I was going to hazard a guess as to how your surname is pronounced, and I said it is Professor Usue. Am I right?
That's correct. Very beautiful.
Fantastic. Welcome aboard. So let's begin with this story. The Rivers State chapter of the All Progressives Congress, APC, has rejected the impeachment process initiated by the Rivers State House of Assembly against Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his deputy, Ngozi Odu, describing the move as destabilizing and unnecessary. So I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but we woke up to the news today that the Rivers State House of Assembly is initiating an impeachment process against the governor, and they're citing gross misconduct. Now, the APC Rivers State, they are closing ranks and saying, no, you cannot touch him. He is ours and he's done nothing wrong. What's your take?
Thank you very much. I am worried about that move too, because Rivers State has been through so much, and it is unnecessary to begin this impeachment saga. How does that impeachment apply, or can I say affect the ordinary person positively on the street? How will that impeachment positively impact the ordinary person on the street? Look, I don't know what these politicians have been thinking about the electorates. When we elect them, we expect them to deliver dividends of democracy, take care of our health care, take care of education, agriculture, employment, and some of these basic security, and some of these basic, these are the main concerns. And if we go down deep, this type of issue is just because what they are demanding from that person, from that governor, is outrageous. And when he cannot yield to their somehow irresponsible demands, then they threaten with this type of impeachment. So I am not in support of that impeachment. And I suspect seriously that there are the demands that maybe the governor, His Excellency, is able to meet them. And that's why they have resorted to this nonsense.
Okay, one of the issues that they raised as the reason for this impeachment was budgetary issue. And the APC is saying that during the period of emergency rule, that a 1.485 trillion naira budget was transmitted by, of course, the administrator who was in charge during that period. And now, do you think that this argument suffices, saying that this is not a reason for you to want to impeach the governor?
Yeah, it is not a reason. The law permits an extension of a budget. If a budget is made somehow late and there are some necessary circumstances that warrant an extension, the law permits it. So this is not a new thing. Even at the federal level, you have an extension of application of budget. So why are they finding it very difficult? And these are the people that sit down and enact these laws. And when those laws are being applied, they turn around to discredit it. So to my mind, I think they have an ulterior motive, not a genuine motive for the progress and positive impact on the ordinary citizenry of that state. That's my take.
All right, Professor, you are right that the law permits, an extension of budgetary spending. The APC reminded the Assembly that the Constitution allows a 6-month spending window into a new fiscal year. But you also said there must be an ulterior motive. I want for us to explore that angle a little bit. Now, the FCT minister, who used to be Siminalayi Fubara'S godfather, who used to be a governor of River State, was in the House of Assembly when this impeachment process was initiated by the lawmakers. Now, there's been a tug of war between Siminalayi Fubara and Nyesom Wike. And Nyesom Wike said a couple of days ago that if Siminalayi Fubara comes back for a second term, his political career is over. Do you now think that that is the ulterior motive, that the lawmakers who are largely loyal to Wike, do you think that's the ulterior motive here? Are you there, Professor? Professor Usue, are you there? Well, we seem to have lost contact with Professor Usue, but we will try to reconnect with him, and as soon as we are able to do that, we'll continue with discussions on this matter. Stay with us, we'll be right back after this short break.
Good evening, Africa. My name is Bamakore, actor, model, producer, and I'm giving a big shout out to VOP TV, man. Keep watching. Don't change the dial. Thank you and God bless you.
My name is AY, and of course, I represent the voice of the people, and that's why I'm on VOP. AY say so.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Miriam Tima from The Real Housewives of Lagos and The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Africa. Shout out to VOP, the voice of the people. You already know. Stay tuned, keep watching. And don't forget, VOP is the best.
All right, hello, it's a boy that's shagging man fine back with Melanie Poppy Black Skin Boy. This is VOP TV. If you're not watching VOP, I don't know why you're watching. Maybe you're watching your weight.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Wale Ojo, and you're watching VOP, Voice of the People.
Hi, guys. You already know who it is. This is New Energy. Flyers wherever live. Keep watching VOP TV. Thank you.
Hi, people. Jenny Albano here. Guys, please keep watching Voice of the People.
From the views on the streets,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
2564 is coming up on Burning 9, right? 2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window and wondered who's really in control of the skies, is turbulence. Aviation scope. The sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
Glad to have you back. We'll still have joining us Professor Usue. Professor, okay, so I don't know if you heard a question my colleague asked you before we lost connection with you. Okay, so we were asking, you made mention of an ulterior motive, and we're saying that...
He was trying to ask, yes.
So she asked you if the ulterior motive could be attributed to the loyalty that these lawmakers have for Wike, which we found out, or it is in the news, that Wike was actually in the House of Assembly during this process, or during his impeachment and process. Are you with us?
Yes, thank you very much. One of the things that I have noticed, this is not just Wike alone, but I've observed a couple of politicians who have occupied this office as the governor of a state and seem to behave as if in the absence of them, then that state cannot function. I think it's a very naive and reasoning. What I'm trying to say is this. There is no monopoly of knowledge. There is no monopoly of the ability to govern a state. No one was born as a governor. You went through certain processes to become a governor. And when you vacate the office, it is expected that you allow your successor to perform. And you concentrate on your next, whether appointment or election or what you want to do in life. Leave the other person. You can advise from behind, but remember that person also has a duty to fulfill. So one of the things that worry me about River State is that this Wike, yes, he did some work for that state, but now he is no longer there. He is the minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And it is expected that he concentrate there and leave Fubara to govern the state. And when the tenure of Fubara expires, after maybe 4 or 8 years, somebody will take his place and also govern the state. Suppose Amechi was so hard on Wike, definitely Wike wouldn't have been able to perform. But Amechi had given some distance in order to allow Wike to perform. Why would Wike not give that room? Why would he keep on meddling in the face of River State so much so that it's like River State is within his pocket, that he can put his hand, pull it out, do what he wants with it, and then put it back into his pocket? I think it's very unfair to River State.
Very well said, Professor. But can I ask this question? What about a case where there is an agreement, like the former River State governor, current FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, has said there was an agreement between himself and Siminalayi Fubara, and Fubara has not kept his side of the agreement. In fact, just yesterday he called him a bad child who had not, agreed to the agreement. So I want you to tie this thing to the issue of godfatherism in Nigerian politics and what it means really for democracy in our country.
What was the? It wasn't. What was the agreement? Has any of them made the agreement public? Because the agreement is not between Wike and Fubara. The agreement needs to be between Fubara and the citizens of River State. It is not. The state doesn't belong to Wike. Wike is just a human being like any other human being, and everybody deserves to be. Now, we appreciate him. We appreciate some of the works he may have done, but the state doesn't belong to him. The way he is looking at what kind of agreement? If there was an agreement, what kind of agreement? Make the agreement public so that we will know that this was the agreement. If it was a wrong agreement, we will tell both of them in their faces that it was wrong. You cannot have an agreement that goes contrary to the comfort, peace, and stability of that state. You know, some of these fishy deals that they make behind the scene, I'm not saying that was the agreement, but some of these fishy deals that you say, when you become the governor, this is what you'll be remitting to me as a person, is insane, is unreasonable. It is
anti-democratic.
It is a slap in the face of the soul they have. Let them make the agreement public. Let us know the content of that agreement, whether it is reasonable, whether it's according to the law, because we have a constitution that governs the operations of a state. And when your tenure expires and you get out, then you don't have any business disturbing the incumbent because of agreement with you.
Okay, let's move on. We're still talking politics. Our former presidential aspirant, Dele Momodu, has listed former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, the presidential candidate of Labour Party, of course, in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, and a two-term governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, as leading candidates for the presidential ticket of the African Democratic Congress, which is a coalition that came as a result of some individuals coming together. But I want to ask you, do you see ADC as being a stronger position come 2027?
I am worried about that partnership. I am worried because I expect contenders, frontliners. I expect the three frontliners to sit down and make a decision. And that decision is to foot one person or to likely, I expect them to project or be, if they are going to be sincere. The last election shows very clearly what transpired. Do you know that the most fearsome person that APC had wasn't even Atiku? And for goodness sake, Atiku needs to sit down as an elder. Atiku simply just needs to vacate this public space of contending on a yearly basis to become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, even though he has the right constitutionally to contest. But if I were him, Nigeria doesn't belong to Atiku alone. So he has contested more than, I don't know even the times he has, since Obasanjo, up till down. Atiku is still contesting. What is he doing there? What will he bring differently? We know him. We know what he did. Is it not enough for him to retire and be a father behind the scene, a statesman like Obasanjo, like Goodluck Jonathan, like these other Adusalim, and these others? Why must he come forward again? And then the others. So to my mind, if they want to be fair to themselves, and if they want to really contend with the APC, they should put their house together, allow Obi to fly, they continue to do this, what we are seeing, and then they should forget it. They should forget it. That's it.
Well, Professor, you tried counting how many times the former vice president has contested, but I know it is not up to 9 times compared to one of the fathers of democracy in the U.S., talking about Abraham Lincoln, who clinched it the 9th time he tried. But hey, let's talk about what Dele Momodu is advising members of the ADC. He's saying that they should rise above personal sentiments and work towards defeating President Bola Tinubu.
Because they're not serious.
Yeah, well, so he's accusing President Tinubu of turning the country into a one-party state. Do you agree that President Tinubu actually is turning Nigeria into a one-party state? Professor Uswe, can you hear me?
Yes.
Do you think, like what Dele Momodu has just said, do you think President Bola Tinubu is actually trying to turn Nigeria into a one-party state?
I won't read his mind because I am not God. However, the antecedents leading to 2027 are very worrisome, where many people are decamping from other political parties and joining the APC. And some of the worries are that some of these people that are jumping, they have a lot of cases against them with the EFCC, ICPC, and so on and so forth. But it is sounding as if when you jump and join the APC, then your sins are forgiven. That's what is sounding. And if that's the case, then it's a worrisome development. We are heading to where Nigeria will become a one-party system, and the world will laugh at us. We will become an embarrassment. Already we are becoming an embarrassment to other nations because we have all it takes to be the greatest nation in Africa, and yet we are behaving like if we don't even know, we don't have any iota of reasoning. So that's my worry, that I don't know what is in his mind, but at least there are antecedents, those things that are happening are suggestive of something like that.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Ustwe. Thank you for being a part of the News Hour.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
I'm very, very, very thank you much for the invitation and for sharing my views too. Thanks.
You're welcome, sir. Okay, and moving on, we are going to take a break, and when we return, we'll bring you more stories to stay with us.
You didn't even think.
On Edu Dialogue, we bring you fresh ideas and conversations, shaping the future of learning in Nigeria and beyond.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs the voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing.
And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
Welcome back, everyone. And now the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority has signaled plans to introduce tougher sanctions against domestic airlines over repeated flight delays and poor passenger handling, warning that recurrent inefficiencies will no longer be tolerated in this sector. This was announced on Thursday via the official X-handle of the NCAA's Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Michael Achimugu. He noted that the level of support extended to airline operators by the current administration and aviation authorities should reasonably translate into improved service delivery. While acknowledging the challenging operating environment faced by airlines, he insisted that certain lapses could no longer be excused.
As 2026 begins, some residents of Benin City are placing renewed emphasis on managing their finances wisely. Speaking with correspondent Rhoda Journey along Ring Road, residents shared practical money-saving tips, including keeping personal budgets, tracking daily expenses, avoiding impulse purchases, and prioritizing essential needs.
In Benin City are starting 2026 with a renewed focus on saving money after heavy spending during the festive season. Many are determined to regain control of their finances and plan for the year ahead. Along Ring Road, those interviewed shared different ways they are managing their money, including keeping personal budgets, monitoring daily expenses, avoiding impulse purchases, and focusing on essential needs.
So for me now is looking for the money first. Then I will now think about how I would save it. But again, definitely we must have some savings. However, one of the hardest things that has to do with saving is you are saving for a rainy day. My question is, when is this rainy day? So one of the hardest things is balancing between saving and also meeting your needs.
Good to save for rainy day, but the moment you save that money for rainy day, now that's a rain go take start to the fall. It's not easy. God, like before, hey, if you save money, you go say you use that to do something. But now, the moment you save the money, say this money about December, January, you don't chop out.
To plan for future, yourself, like as you start for January, you can join the Susu, you can join other meeting. Like for example, there are some things they do in the bank. Maybe you keep 10,000 in a month. At the end of the year, something come out of it. So, and if you want to pay your children's school fees, like for example, like me now, I joined Osusu. So when I want to pay December or January, for example, I book that month. This is the month I will carry my Osusu so that I can able to pay my son or my daughter's school fees.
Even to even get 1,000 naira for that saving aspect, many people don't really spend a lot by buying clothes, food stuff, different kind of, even to go even chop some friends, they go club party.
by setting aside small amounts regularly and exercising discipline in spending, they believe they can achieve greater stability and be better prepared for the year ahead. Rhoda Johnny, VOP TV News.
Thank you very much, Rhoda, for that. The Lagos State House of Assembly has passed a 4.4 trillion naira budget for the 2026 fiscal year following the adoption of the report of the House Committee on Economic Planning and Budget. The committee chairman, Salah Ulumor, presented the report during plenary on Thursday, detailing the assumptions, projections, and structure of the 2026 appropriation bill tagged the Budget of Shared Prosperity. According to the report, the 2026 budget represents the third budget cycle of the current administration and the final new cycle budget of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's second term. Olumo noted that the budget framework was informed by macroeconomic indices, including an exchange rate benchmark of 1,512 naira to the dollar, an inflation rate of 14.7%, oil production of 2.06 million barrels per day, and a benchmark oil price of $64 per barrel.
And now, Ekiti State Governor Biodun Oyebanji has launched the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Emblem Appeal Fund, emphasizing his administration's commitment to security and peace in the state. The governor urged Nigerians to work together with security agencies, stressing that security is a collective responsibility. Oyebanji kick-started the Appeal Fund with a 5 million naira donation aiming to support veterans, widows of fallen heroes, and 7 military personnel facing challenges. The launch marked the beginning of activities for annual Armed Forces Remembrance Day.
The Oxford English Dictionary has updated its glossary with some Nigerian-originated words, including Mami Market and Mala, among others. The December 2025 update released on the OED website features more than 500 new words, phrases, and tenses. Other Nigerian-originated words added to his word book include moi moi, abeg, biko, and Ghana must go. Internet slang such as DM, brain fart, and chag were also included. Over 1,000 existing entries were also revised, while editors explored the histories of words such as stroll, coffee, and snooker.
Well, on the foreign scene, U.S. President Donald Trump has withdrawn the U.S. from dozens of international organizations, including many that work to combat climate change. Nearly half of the 66 affected bodies are UN-related, including the Framework Convention on Climate Change, a treaty that underpins all international efforts to combat global warming. Groups working on development, gender equality, and conflict areas, the Trump administration had repeatedly dismissed as advancing globalist or woke agendas are also included. The White House said the decision was taken because those entities no longer serve American interests and promote ineffective or hostile agendas.
Still on the foreign scene, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance says Greenland is critical for the defense of the U.S. and the world against possible Russian or Chinese missile attacks, that Europe and Denmark have not done a good job in securing the area. Vance told newsmen that he had not only underinvested in Greenland's defenses, but also failed to engage with President Donald Trump's argument over the issue. U.S. officials are actively discussing a potential offer to buy Greenland, a semi-autonomous Danish territory. The White House said on Wednesday, a day after suggesting military action to annex it to the U.S. was also an option. Denmark, a fellow NATO member, has warned this would spell the end of the alliance. Both Greenland and Denmark have repeatedly stressed the island is not for sale.
Still on the foreign scene, a U.S. immigration agent has shot dead a 37-year-old woman in the city of Minneapolis, sparking protests overnight. Federal officials said the woman, Renee Nicole Good, had tried to run over immigration agents with her car, but the city mayor said the agent who shot her had acted recklessly. Videos of the incident show ICE agents approaching a car which is in the middle of the street, as it attempts to drive off. One of them points his gun at the driver and at least 2 shots ahead. The FBI is investigating the incident. Hundreds of ICE agents have been deployed to Minneapolis in the state of Minnesota as part of the White House's crackdown on illegal immigration. Using an expletive, the city's Democratic Mayor Jacob Frey urged the agents to leave the city following the fatal shooting.
We now move on to business. President Bola Tinubu is excited over the Nigerian capital market surpassing the 100 trillion naira benchmark. Tinubu, in a statement by his presidential spokesman Bayo Nanuga, described this achievement as a historic milestone and a strong signal of renewed investor confidence in the economy. The NGX All-Share Index closed 2025 with a 51.19% return, eclipsing the 37.65% recorded in 2024 and outperforming major global indices, including the S&P 500 and FTSE 100. Tinubu said the performance places Nigeria among the world's best-performing equity markets, added that the country is no longer a frontier market to be ignored, but a destination where value is being unlocked.
Well, in sports news, the chairman of the National Sports Commission, NSC, Shehu Diko, says the Super Eagles bonus row has been resolved and that the team will now travel to Marrakesh for their quarter-final clash with Algeria in the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON. Diko attributed the delay in the payment of the bonuses to the Super Eagles at the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations to bureaucratic bottlenecks. Diko spoke on Thursday after reports emerged that players of the Nigeria team are threatening to boycott their AFCON quarter-final clash against Algeria over unpaid bonuses. According to the NSC chairman, the funds have already been approved and released, but are still undergoing due process.
And now to entertainment, rapper Jeremiah Chukwuebuka Ani, popularly known as Jerick, has rejected the notion that Igbo artists do not support one another, describing the assertion as baseless. Speaking during a media chat, Jerick cited personal experiences to counter the narrative. He highlighted the contributions of established stars such as Flavor and Phyno, noting that both artists have collaborated with him without requesting payment. He credited Flavor with helping him secure his biggest song, Oloma, explaining that Flavor delivered a verse for free. Jerick added that he and Phyno have worked together on 3 tracks, also without charge. According to him, the success of many emerging Igbo artists can be traced to the support and endorsement they have received from senior Igbo figures in the industry.
Still in entertainment news, Grammy-winning gospel singer and pastor Donnie McClurkin has strongly denied and rejected claims of sexual allegations made against him in a lawsuit where his former assistant alleged that the singer abused him over several years while serving as his spiritual mentor and employer. The plaintiff, Giuseppe Cotello, had claimed that McClurkin admitted to the abuse, which allegedly began after he sought spiritual guidance from McClurkin in 2003 while struggling to reconcile his sexuality with his Christian faith, in an email in which he described himself as a dirty old man. Reacting to the lawsuit filed in Manhattan State Supreme Court in the United States, the 66-year-old gospel music icon denied the allegations through his attorney, describing Cotello's claims as categorically false. While admitting that true victims of abuse must be heard and protected, his lawyer, in a statement posted by the gospel icon on his official Instagram handle, said his former assistant had not told the truth. And that wraps it up for us on News Hour. But before we go, a quick look at the headlines. We told you that the Rivers APC has rejected impeachment proceedings against Fubara'S.
We also told you that ADC faction denies wooing Jonathan, Atiku, Obi, and Kwankwaso.
Also, Kwara State tops National Livestock Project ranking.
Tinubu condoles with Chimamanda Adichie over son's death.
Fenifere urges Southwest governors to act on rising terror attacks.
Burutai sues Ali Kefi for 1 billion naira over alleged terrorism defamation.
On the foreign scene, we told you that Trump withdraws U.S. from key climate treaty and dozens of other groups.
In business, Tinubu applauds NGX 100 trillion naira milestone, charges Nigerians to invest more locally.
Well, in sports news, NSC chairman says Eagles bonus row resolved, blames delayed payment and bureaucratic bottlenecks.
In entertainment, gospel singer Donnie McCauley denies sexual allegations and seeks prayer for accuser. Do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People Television, and other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. We witness news happening near you. We want to hear from you. Send your eyewitness report, event coverage request, photos or videos directly via WhatsApp to 0814-606-4057. You can also reach our newsroom by email at news@vop.ng. I am Nenna Ndomdioto.
And I'm Vivian Oguche. Thank you for watching.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check only on Voice.